Hello and welcome. In this space, we love to explore the incredible wisdom that's woven into the Chinese language, often through just a few simple characters.
So let's start with a question for you. Can a single leaf truly hide a mountain? It sounds a little strange, right? But that one question holds a really old and I think a very human piece of wisdom. So let's explore it together.
So today, we're going to be looking at what's known as a chengyu. It's a four-character Chinese idiom.
And like so many of these, it actually comes from a story that's been told for centuries. It's a phrase that somehow manages to capture a very common human mistake in just one really vivid image.
So here they are, the four characters that make up this powerful little phrase. You can almost think of each character as a single brushstroke in a bigger picture. And together, they tell a story that warns us about, well, the limits of our own vision. Let's take a closer look, one by one. The very first character is Yi. It means one, just a single. Following that, we have Ye, which means a leaf. And the third character is zhàng. This one means to block or to obstruct. It's like it creates a barrier. And then we have the final character, Mu, the eye, the very thing we use to see. So when we put it all together, we get this image. A single leaf blocks the eye. Right. So what does this beautiful, poetic image actually mean for us? Well, it's about being so focused on one tiny, often insignificant detail that you completely fail to see the huge reality that's right there in front of you. You literally miss the mountain for the leaf. And what's so great is where this idea comes from. It's rooted in this simple and honestly kind of funny story about a scholar who goes on a quest for a magical leaf. Okay, so the story goes like this. It begins, like a lot of good stories do, with someone who wants something badly. Back in the ancient state of Chu, there lived a poor scholar. He was just completely fed up with being poor and spent all his time dreaming of a way to get rich quick. So one day, he's reading an old book, and he comes across this really fascinating passage. It talked about how a praying mantis could use a special leaf to make itself invisible while it hunted. And you could just see the light bulb go off in his head, right? He thinks, wait a minute, if I could just find that leaf, I could be invisible too. So of course, he immediately rushes out to the forest. After searching and searching, he finally spots a praying mantis hiding behind a leaf. He's thinking, this has to be it. But he's so excited, so eager, that as he reaches out to grab it, his hand fumbles, and the so-called magical leaf just flutters down and lands in a massive pile of other leaves on the forest floor. It's gone. But our scholar, well, he wasn't about to give up. At this point, he's completely obsessed. So he does the only thing that makes sense to him. He sweeps up every single leaf from that spot, stuffs them all into baskets, and hauls the entire collection home. So, back at his house, the grand experiment begins. He takes one leaf, holds it up in front of his face, and asks his wife, "Can you see me now?" And of course, she says, "Yes, I can see you." So he puts that leaf down, picks up another, and asks again, "How about now?" This goes on and on and on all day long. As you can imagine, after hours and hours of this, his poor wife is just done. She is completely exhausted. So to finally make it stop, the very next time he asks, she just lets out a big sigh and lies. She says, "看不见了," which means, "Nope, can't see you." Oh, the scholar was thrilled. He'd found it. This was the one. He clutches the leaf tightly and runs straight for the busy city market. Convinced that he is now totally invisible, he just walks right up to a stall and starts helping himself to whatever he wants, in plain sight of everyone. And, well, you can guess what happened next. He was, of course, arrested on the spot. And when they dragged him before the magistrate, he was just completely baffled, wondering how in the world anyone could have seen him. It's a funny story, right? But the wisdom is hidden right there inside its foolishness. Because this was never really about a magical leaf. It's about how we choose to see, or not see, the world around us. So what's the real lesson in this silly-sounding tale? What was the mountain that our scholar just couldn't see because he was so busy staring at that one little leaf? Yeah, this is the heart of it right here. That single leaf, that represents a tiny, distracting detail. It's the tempting shortcut, right? The one narrow perspective. But the mountain, The mountain is everything else. It's the big picture. It's reality. It's all the context that he totally ignored because he was so fixated on his goal. And there's a reason this story has stuck around for thousands of years. It points to something that we all do. It's a warning about the danger of obsession, about how easy it is to mistake one tiny part of a problem for the whole thing. It really highlights the foolishness of just ignoring common sense because we're chasing some kind of quick fix.
And let's be honest, we don't need a magical leaf from an old story to fall into this exact same trap. We do this kind of thing all the time. For sure. You could easily hear this at work. Imagine a team is building a new website, right? And someone might say, he's so obsessed with getting the font color just right that he's totally ignoring the fact that the site is impossible to use. It's a classic case of Ye Zhang Mu. He's staring at the leaf and completely missing that giant mountain.
Learn Chinese, one story at a time.